Okay, I pretty much missed the live stream that was, Fat Man, Raymond, Dashi, and Tom returning. I came in at like the last. I got to see like the last like 2 minutes. So I'm watching it right now. I've just paused it at about 35 minutes. They're talking about Willow being a useless bitch and having an ugly ass, but she was Winry's English voice actor. That's not what got to me. Go back about 15 minutes. They start to enter the politics side of it, and shit, just figuring stuff out in my head because as Raymond does, as Fatman's done in the past, rewrites, reconfiguring, rebuilding. Sorry, I should get this against something at the back. I'm sorry. There, proper, better, and it's cold because it's winter in Australia. Politics. Firstly, I can fix multiple things with this show. I'm really hoping you guys at least give this video at least one watch. I'm not asking for likes, subscribers, or any shit. Just hear me out on this. Fix multiple issues at once, make characters more interesting, solidify their positions in the show more interesting, and fulfill a political agenda with the main characters as well. One, the biggest issue going into Atlas that has been just ignored by the show and cast aside and serves no purpose anymore, and yet Atlas should have been the ground for it, was the faunus. It was the reason I was watching the show going into Volume 7. I was just like, I'm curious what they do with the faunus, and they did fuck all. We're gonna take two characters. Marrow, Dog Faunus and the Aesops, Robyn. These two characters that should not be anywhere near where they currently are, switch them. Make Robyn the ace operative who works closely with Ironwood, and no one except for Ironwood and herself knows about her lie detector semblance, and she works specifically for Ironwood, gathering information. Really sneaky shit. Makes her really powerful as well, and the fact that, she's graduated from Atlas Academy, which is also part of the military school, and she's made the transition into the military. Marrow's a faunus. I'm really sick of the faunus going to this fucking academy. If this is supposed to be the oppressive bloody country and school that it is, you gotta add layers of oppression and discrimination. You can't do outright slavery because someone will turn around and just be like, oh, Ozpin, you built this whole fucking system. Slavery's going too far. But heavy oppression is a whole different issue. Certain countries can get away with that, especially with borders, ideology, building blocks, etc. Marrow, first of all, I'm going to divide Atlas into 4 areas, or overall, the whole, as far as we know what the population is, politically controlled. 1, the council. This is the council seats, by the way. You got the military council seat, which currently is owned by Ironwood. Got the Atlas council seat. In a rewrite, you can fill it with whoever you want. I don't fucking care. That divides Atlas into 2. Kind of like separating the school and the military from whatever the rest of the rich-ass Elysians are. Mantle's 2 seats. Mantle's gonna get a redesign and really take inspiration from Attack on Titan here, because You know, with Attack on Titan, you got the three sections of the city divided by the walls. Have upper class mantle and the lower class mantle. Very similar to Midgar in Final Fantasy VII, if you played the remake as well. You got the slums, you got the upper class. Each have a political representation seat. Rule 1, the lower class, slum area, that's where the faunus live. Humans live in the upper class of Mantle. They get jobs such as supervising the SDC work, supervising food rations, all that type of shit. Anything that comes from Atlas through Mantle goes through them. Humans get all the good jobs. This also introduces a pay gap type thing, but you can also introduce if the faunus have all these things that make them good at working in the mines. The SDC does employ the faunus, pays them next to jack shit for this dangerous work, and laws are put in place such as curfews. No faunus is allowed to be out after dark. Can't be traveling in groups. This, that. All shitty things that put limits on how you live your everyday life exist in this lower class of Mantle. Hell, you can even put the Elysian Knights and military security or supervision, right? And put the faunus lower class closest to the wall. Like, if anything is gonna get through that wall protecting the city, faunus are gonna be the first to go. Into Marrow. Ironwood, up till now, for some goddamn reason, has managed to govern that seat, political seat. And he's been forced to give it up. They're like, you can't hold 2 seats on the council, you hold too much power. And who knows, he could have got it through just some bullshit. I can't be bothered going into that. He's giving it up, and the two major forces are at play. Right now, the faunus are getting no money. They can barely survive. They're getting leftover food. Shit's really bad. Everything's been blamed on the embargo. Resources are tight. Blah, 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 etc., etc. And Jacques, being the businessman he is, sticks to his plan. It's a gamble. Tom said it. I think Tom said it. And everyone agreed, it can backfire. It can. But if he succeeds, it's a very good business investment. It's a political campaign. Oi, faunus, you want to go back to work? You want to earn, I know it's shit money, but you want to earn some money, and you want to have some freedoms, and you want to stop bitching? Vote me into office. I get rid of the embargo. Trading happens again. You're back in the mines. That's his campaign. You're still going to be working under shit conditions, but goddamn, he's going to get you back to work. Marrow represents the other side of this equation, as he will be running opposite Jacques. And look, straight off, if you have Mantle and you got the lower class and they're being oppressed and they're being shit on, and you want to get your people that are viewing to actually give a shit about what the fuck's going on in your story, you put a figure up there instead of telling us, oi, this is Robyn. She apparently had enough money to go to Atlas, attend the Elysian Academy, graduate, and for some dumb reason, the military's okay with you graduating Atlas Academy and not serving in the military and then starting a revolution type course. Like, that's dumb as shit when you actually do say it. She should not be in that issue. No one should be in that issue. There should be strict guidelines on what you do when you graduate the academy. Back to Marrow. He's a faunus. He needs to speak up. People are going to clamour to him, especially if he has a strong voice And secondly, if he has an OP semblance, such he's a dog faunus, and people are judging whether he's slowing down time. He's not freezing time, but he's slowing it down, or he's just giving overall commands, like he has a command semblance. That's a very strong thing for a political candidate. And it comes in with him not using it all the time. He has to know when to use it because it can be obviously seen as abuse of power. So if shit gets really bad over Volume 7 leading into Volume 8, he has to know when not only to use it against the military and Atlas, but when to use it against his own people to calm the rioting and just be like, oi, if we keep rioting and you know, like, this leans into a lot of I'm sorry if I'm saying this, but a lot of the stuff happening in America now, this actually leans into that. I just realized it. But it's like, especially in the world of Rwby with the Grim, it's just like, oi, I know we're rioting and we're fighting back against the Atlesians for oppressing us, but if the Grim attack, we're dead. The Atlesians are not going to help us if we're attacking them in a revolution style. They're just going to be like, hey, let the Grim kill the revolution. He becomes the political candidate that rises up, and because Jacques, he's going to be hiding in his mansion in Atlas. I don't want to do anything. And then Marrow fights, rallies his people, fights alongside not only the faunus, but the upper class mantle humans. You might get upper class mantle humans who are related to people in Atlas joining that. By the time the whole Atlas arc is over, he becomes the ideal political candidate, and you've solved politics, you've solved warfare, you've solved faunus discrimination, and it all goes back to taking two characters and simply switching their roles. Robyn and Marrow should be in opposite situations. And that's just, I'm being dead honest. I'm just watching, if you guys see this and watch it, I'm going back to your video after this. After I stop recording this, I'm going to go back to, I think I'm up 36 minutes, 37 minutes. I'm going to continue watching it. But that literally just came to me. All the pieces of that jigsaw puzzle just came together from crossing two characters together. And I hope to tag you guys on Twitter. It's up to you if you watch it. But yeah, Fat Man, get the review out.